on this lovely 10-cent portal, the 5D mystic is uncovering their group. So it's not the 4D mystics, it's not the readers who are still looking to separation consciousness. They actually do not know how to read the energy sphere with the awareness of humanity. What's humanity? Humanity is you have an attachment system. I have an attachment system. You have a social system. I have a social system. Your chakras and your aura and everything that is part of you has everything to do with your human baby experience. So if you're going to move into yourself, first of all, you need to figure out, are you a securely attached self? Because that's where, okay, you can achieve healthy self-worth. If you are an avoidant instead, then first you're going to have to reconnect your lovely head to the body. And this is actually something very important to note. It's not a magic wand. Science is magic that works. It is having good psychoeducation about your nervous system, your embodied brain, and having a clear knowingness. One, there's attachment researchers. There's two categories. One is a group for attachment categories, and that's for looking at you with the adult attachment interview and how you attach to your caregiver and givers, because we're an alloparenting species. Or then there's attachment styles, and the attachment style researchers, thank you Daniel Siegel for my interpersonal neurobiology course, he explained this to me. The attachment style researchers are for grown-ups in their relationships. So when we see people talking about, they talk about avoidance, they talk about fearful, and then there's avoidant fearful, and avoidant anxious, and they also have anxious. And styles are for the grown-ups who are trying to make relationships work out. So I saw this one person, and I've shared about it, and they talk about what is really the twin flame dynamic at this point. That's why there's trauma bonding, and the whole 4D has a completely, so they really messed up what is an actual oversoul relationship, which is why 5D mystics are in town. So the ending of their being no talk about your oversoul is not about soul contracts beginning or ending. It's an energy sphere. Like the entire community that built throughout these years, it's been since 2007. I knew the good mystics, then they moved into 4D land, and now it seems like they're all just there. But I understand their area of specialization is important, because otherwise I would not know about certain words that I can use. Spirituality, a whole different group. So there's yoga and lovely Sadhguru, and they go and do only spirituality, which is nice, consciousness planet. So at least they're proactively tending to the basic needs of the planet. 4D's tending to the self-adaptive child needs of the individuals who don't recognize their codependent type behavior towards humanity. Because when you say humans are broken, you're actually projecting what you feel inside of you, because your species is humanity. And so if you're saying to me that humans are broken, I'm going to say, no, they're not. They have an attachment system. Maybe they need to go check that one out. Yeah, maybe they do have the heart broken, gut wrenched, torn apart, shame, defectiveness. This is actually torture in their body. A lot of people that are not in the Enlightenment Soul Age group, or mystics for that matter, or 5D, in fact, they will say, no, but evil, Maria, it exists. And I'll say, evil, it's a person who needs a good therapist and a long journey in order to work with their 0-1-year-old who also was affected by transgenerational trauma, because the womb of their mother and the mother, the ovaries, and a lot of others. So here, I'm pseudoscience lady for a reason. I can't keep it all straight together, but also I'm not the researcher behind all of these pieces of information, but I do know they're all people who research. And as an academic and a smart human being, unlike flat earthers, they may have smart brains, but apparently they want to prove the earth is flat. Now, I love to use them as an example because it's the least of the ones that become then personal. And I could say so many more others, which I don't, out of respect for knowing that what is an invisible territory remains an invisible territory. That's my point. But when I think of 4D talking about their readings, and what they're reading are people with, for example, fragmented sense of self. Let's go to the people who have disorganized attachment, because they live in an infant body that has terror, but it needs to attach. There's an actual inner conflict in that poor human being's body, and people want to go around talking about the devil, demons, evil. Again, it's a plane that exists, yes, It's a plane that I see. I see all of that. It's always in the mind's eye, in the back. You know what the difference is? The 5D body is not destabilized because we have a relationship with our emotional body. I have no beef with when I get into my emotional spectrum, which is why if it's sadness, it's sadness. Anger, not really. Kali comes in every now and then when I get pissy in my pants because somebody is limiting human consciousness. This is the only time when somebody's limiting another person's journey. And I do know how to take a step back because I got taught how to mind my own business, and projection actually is the other reason. So people who don't know about their attachment category or style, they don't know about their adaptive child. And because the movies make it look cool to be in your fight response, or make it look like procrastination is a choice, for example, there's a lot of behind the scenes that people don't know. Until you don't know your nervous system, and therefore if you don't know about your attachment system, your category, and or your style, you are missing a very important piece of information about yourself. I'm serious, by the way. And this is the one place where 4D mystics and anyone who's in the in-between doesn't actually get completely clear on, because they use the information. But like Patrick Tiahan, therapist and childhood trauma survivor, points out, people like to project their self-righteousness when they're not completely healed. When people are codependent types, I'm going to come change you because I know better than you, and I'm a martyr or I'm superior. I'm going to blame you or blame myself. Depends which one is. Am I going to take care of you or are you taking care of me? And that's all based in low self-esteem, passive-aggressive, indirect communication. They don't know boundaries. So here, securely attached person knows boundaries, which means I'm not going to treat you with a disrespectful word. I will use my tone, however, and I will probably learn how, in fact, in time, you learn how to manage your tone until those buttons get pushed. But you know, when buttons get pushed and love comes out, or the ventral vagal node comes out, it is a very different thing than when projection, because projection is a person being reactive. So they have an alert, alert, alert. They're actually not participating with you. And usually you'll notice it immediately because of their charge. A person who's charged is a person who not only their nervous system begins to get active, and a 5D mystic will notice it because one, we all are actually nervous system. So you can notice mine. We co-regulate. Can't hide your nervous system from each other because we're a species that picks up on it. The difference is when eye contact is made for a person who is securely attached and therefore has no trauma that they're working through. Studies have shown that the higher, let me see, where is it? The higher social connection areas are what light up. When a person has PTSD, so they have trauma and they haven't healed and they don't know about it, and when you have attachment insecurity or disorganized attachment, you're not a person who's home in your body yet. In any way, shape, or form, you have no relationship with the emotions that come up. So your charge states, the 0-1-year-old, attached, panicky, the 3-7, shame, submissive, the freeze of all ages, the flight 11-12, and the fight 14-15-16. There's no adult there. There's no prefrontal cortex. There's just a lid that goes like this and then is reactive. So we got yellow and red. We got biological rudeness. When a person with PTSD gets direct eye contact, their mid-level of the brain, the escape threat area of your brain, is activated, your alarm system. A lot of people, like Patrick Tian, lovely therapist, points out when he's doing a short about what it's like for somebody to wake up who leads with their fight system. That's your fight and flight, so sympathetic. I'm going to beat up Bill if he looks at me one more time. And the movies make that look cool. Now, this is where we don't need to go to extremes. It's a point of education. But only if you learn how to be a human baby first, and then the stars are a bonus. So for 5D mystics, we love being human babies. And we love the stars as well. It's what makes the in-between so much more fun for us. So we like to balance it out for real. And in our relationships, that's why we don't have any drama. In fact, our twin flames, we don't have questions about our oversoul. We know exactly who our oversoul is all the time, not sometimes. And we also know why we don't know everything. That's the fun of life. What would you do if you knew everything? The heart of a whole 3-year-old, the whole heart of a 3-year-old. Everybody can move here, but good therapy is important, as is knowing about being a human. And the whole storyline, we'll do a take 3. That one is where we have the 4D to support people and the 3D as well, because stories are stories, and not everybody's going to want to be a grown-up in their lifetime of now. That's actually how people put it. So tune in for more.